Oh good, you're just in time for the show. Welcome. Today I'm prepared to talk to you about a classic Nintendo 64 action-adventure game, Mystical Ninja Starring Goemon, made in 1998. But first we're going to witness a song and dance number called My Stage, as performed by these two amazing song and dance artists called Spring Breeze Dancing and Kitty Lily, as well as their gorgeous dancing crew. As you can witness, the quality of the stage show is phenomenal and the song is downright captivating. What thrilling lyrics, what spicy moves! Oh my word, that was positively the most riveting show ever, encapsulating greatness itself. And what's that? These guys are the evil main bosses of the game? And this is our bunch right here, the main characters? I was just about to become these artists' greatest fan forever, just like Ebisumaru here. What? No, just hold on Chewie, we need to rewind here to get a grasp of this. Chewie here is my boss, by the way, a video game scientist and a strategy overlord. He's a little jittery, you know, too much G fuel before the show. Okay Chewie, let's go back to the beginning. How did this all start? On a completely normal, beautiful day in a peaceful Japanese town called Oedo, there was a terrifying attack. No wait, aren't these our guys? You know, the ones we just saw. Oh, okay, thanks Chewie. In this town stayed a pair of masterful ninja warriors, Goemon and his somewhat eccentric friend Ebisumaru. He's irreplaceable in the party, I assure you. He does far more useful things than trying to negotiate discounts from food shops with striptease dances. Now, the dreadful attack comes from a spaceship. Yes, an actual peach-shaped alien aircraft, which flies ominously over the town. Inside the ship, our main villains Dancin and Lily go over their evil plan. Goemon, Ebisumaru and all the people of Oedo witness the Lord's castle get hit by a mysterious beam, the effects of which are unseen to the outside. And so the heroes must rush to save the Lord and by extension the entire town. Here we go, except Ebisumaru can't fight off evil wearing nothing but underwear, slippers and a hood. Right, now we are off to a completely sensible and easy to understand start. Tell you the truth, there's no real sense of urgency when you begin the game. This nice peaceful music plays as you explore the town and learn all the most important controls. Yeah, trust me, this is useful. You begin by talking with townspeople, visiting houses, shops and restaurants, which you can learn to recognize by the signs posted outside, even if you don't have the ability to understand the writing on them. Especially important are the inns, because they allow you to save the game, which otherwise only happens when you're about to enter some important area or a boss fight. Some areas are of course locked until you have either completed a certain part of the game or gotten a relevant skill, etc. While you don't exactly know where you're going, the townspeople will almost certainly hint you in the right direction by telling you what is the most pressing matter at that particular moment. That's one of the great things about this game. The things people say change as you get further in the adventure, and some of the banter is funny as hell. Not everything has a strict purpose, but I can tell you these dogs are always worth talking to. Poor fella is terrified of getting abducted. While bumbling your way through town, you can bump into hidden things, like these fortune dolls which will increase your health gauge. Collect 4 silver ones to get 1 more heart, or find a golden one to instantly get a heart. Money is also really important in this game. You collect Ryo, which can be used as currency to buy food, armor, or literally thrown as ammunition. If you become completely stumped as to where you're supposed to go, there's only one place to be: the Plasma Man. He's a really powerful and quite potentially intoxicated fortune teller who can always guide you specifically to what you need to do next, for a small price of course. This place is super trippy with these two possessed armors doing kind of a vulgar dance with music that makes you move. Yeah, Chewie's feeling it. As soon as you step out of town, you'll begin to see where all these combat abilities become useful. There's some weird robotic or animated creatures running and flying about, and all of their kind must be utterly decimated. Well, they do seem kinda hostile. Kinda. Anyway, they make nice sounds when they explode and die. I'm explaining things in great detail because this is what the entire experience of the game is like. You keep running into weird new things at a fast pace, and you're able to gradually unravel what it all means. There's a method to this madness, and even though right now you're probably asking what kind of meds did you misplace in your mouth this morning, I assure you this game is secretly kinda genius. And don't worry, we'll speed things along as soon as I've explained to you why we are currently scaling Mount Fuji, Japan's tallest mountain at 3,776 meters. I mean, in the game it's probably closer to 30 meters, but hey, this is Nintendo 64 and this was actually pretty impressive verticality at the time. There's a lot of platforming to do in this game, most of the time while fighting off enemies and dodging bullets. We must reach the top, because the townspeople told Goemon of a pipe maker called Mokubei who lives there. He and he alone is able to craft a chain pipe, a weapon which doubles as a grappling hook, which we need in order to access the rear entrance to the Lord's castle. Look, it works, and there was no other method of getting across this 5-meter gap available in the entire town. I mean, it's impossible without this specific weapon acquired from the top of Mount Fuji. Nice. The castle has indeed been hit by what is known as an instant stage beam that has transformed the castle into an operatic stage, with mechanical performers hopping around everywhere preparing for a show. Most of the doors are locked, and silver, gold and diamond keys are hidden around, so there's quite a bit of searching to do in this, I was going to say enemy infested castle, but I'm starting to think we may be in a bit of a morally grey area here. I mean, these little dolls in dresses are just dancing and stuff. Some of the keys remain hidden until an entire room full of defenders has been massacred of anything that moves. I like the feel of everything, by the way, especially the controls, well, except for the camera, which takes a bit of taming. I love the fact that the further in the castle you get, the music changes into more pulse-pounding versions of the theme. Once you sort through the castle, there's this absolute weirdo called Baron waiting for you at the top. He taunts you and escapes, and when you go after him you find an end boss. A gigantic robot called Congo who spins around and breathes fire. Once you crunch him into pieces and the Lord and Princess Yuki are saved, the day is done, right? You guessed it, my friends, it's time to find out who was behind this attack and make sure these stage fanatics don't turn all of Japan into a theater the size of the entire island. You decide that the only place where you can find the answers you seek are at the Wise Man's house, a character of immeasurable knowledge and wisdom. But you're too late. Just as you arrive, his house explodes and the weirdo from before turns out to be the one responsible. He threatens to crush you with a giant robot, and you aren't going to take such a threat lightly, of course. With this conch shell you found from the remains of the Wise Man's house, you're able to summon the help of a sentient, gigantic Mecharobot movie star called Impact. And no, I cannot contain the awesomeness levels of this intro song. This was the point where I realized I am playing a completely insane game, but I kept playing it and it kept getting more and more ridiculous. Now I'm roller skating through towns situated in a mountain pass, destroying enemy tanks and airships by the dozen, just crushing everything in my way and jumping over bridges, collecting money and trying to conserve fuel, which doubles as the robot's health. Depending on how well the roller skating goes, you arrive into a massive boss fight with either good or bad health and ammo amounts. It's an epic Mecharobot 1 vs 1 with combination moves, projectile attacks, special attacks and tricky patterns the boss throws at you. Chewie, you think this is cool too, right? Yeah, I knew I wasn't the only one. You can imagine my reaction to all of this back when I was a 10-year-old who barely understands English. Wow, this is so far out there. You defeat the robot and Impact tells you he needs to get to America to continue filming his upcoming movie. I'm speechless, this is so surreal. I was intermittently stunned with disbelief and laughing in tears. Now on to the good news. The game gets only better from this point on. You meet Yae, a ninja warrior who is investigating the same criminals you're after, identified as the Peach Mountain Shoguns. She joins the party and this is where you at the latest figure out you can swap between characters, anywhere. All heroes have a slightly varying movement, jumping and attack pattern, and along the way they each gain new exciting weapons and learn different kinds of abilities and spells. Goemon learns to change the color of his hair. I mean, he learns how to become super powerful and push metal blocks around. He also learns to imbue coins that he throws with fire to light environmental objects on fire and solve puzzles. Ebisumaru learns to shrink. No joke, he can become Minimaru and squeeze through small doorways to new areas. He also gets a wind-up camera which is magical. If he takes a picture of something that's invisible like a ghost, it becomes not only visible but tangible. He also gets a hammer which turns stuff into food. I need me one of those. If I wanted sushi and simply had to whack any old coin to get some, I'd save up a lot of money. Yae uses a sword, but she also learns how to block projectiles by spinning it really fast. At one point of the game she learns how to shapeshift into a mermaid to swim underwater, which was impossible till this point. She also gains a flute after helping a serpent dragon shake an invasive robot from its back. Whenever she plays the flute, the dragon picks up the party and brings them to any town or coffee shop you visited before. Ebisumaru wanted the flute as well, not sure how that would have turned out. There's one more character who you actually have to assemble. You find a lifeless robot husk of a mechanical ninja who's had his batteries blasted out. Once you get the batteries, or electro tubes as the locals call them, you can bring Sasuke, this knife-wielding, walking electric blender, into life. He can throw firecracker bombs which destroy weak walls. He also learns to throw ice element kunai knives which freeze enemies and other things. And finally he learns to fly short distances, making him capable of reaching places that were inaccessible before. And that's the basics of the game. You'll be able to travel across a ton of different kinds of scenery like farmlands, desert, snowy mountains, bamboo forest, and with Yae's mermaid ability even the underside of a glacier. There's just so much amazing music in this game, and I feel like the 4 different composers of this soundtrack were trying to outdo each other. From the later villages you can buy much more expensive armors that block a huge amount of melee hits or shots. Be mindful of your spending though, because at certain points of the game you need quite a lot of cash to solve quests. To mention one of them that was most memorable to me, you need to pay 800 Rio for a dang cucumber at one point, just because it's high quality and absolutely necessary. I mean, how high can the quality of a cucumber get? The most hectic places in the game are the castles. They have some pretty weird names like the Ghost Toys Castle, Festival Temple Castle, Gorgeous Musical Castle and the Gourmet Submarine Castle. Don't worry, that last one took a while for me to visualize as well. It's a castle in a submarine that has gourmet food themed interiors. Some of the castles have really complex room layouts and hallways, but luckily you can view the map as soon as you find Mr. Elephant, and you can even see where the boss room is if you find Mr. Arrow. Castles can get pretty hard, and whenever you die, you lose a life. Once you're out of lives, it's time to load a save game from before. You can find extra lives hidden in various places, but the game is pretty stingy with them. There's lots of mechanical intrigues in the game which are these days quite commonplace. For me, a lot of these were introduced for the first time in this game. There's a crane game where you try to pick up the camera, the pool room where you have to bag the balls in the correct order, shifting stairs of different kinds, an alley of rolling barrels, stompers and crushers, huge rotating platforms and bouncing surfaces. There's even a bridge which you're meant to cross very quietly, but I ended up jumping across like a madman. There's some funny animations in the game, like when you are close to an edge the character looks like he's about to fall. Just take a look at these crawl animations as well. Ebisumaru knows how to crawl in style, that's amazing. I don't know why the humor in the game grew on me so deeply. Everything from Ebisumaru huffing and puffing and blowing a door down and immediately being told there's no time for stupid jokes, to the dog who explains different parts of the creek to you and then says since he's at the top he must really be up the creek without a paddle. It's just the kind of humor that's lightweight and puts me in a good mood. Goemon got on the list because, well, yeah, there's a lot of nostalgia. But there is hidden appeal which I believe you definitely recognize once you played the game through. So much effort has gone into this. Little details connecting together everywhere to make a very eccentric, wholesome and different kind of action-adventure game. I listen to the music often and find myself wanting to play this again as a result. It's among the very best action-adventure games in the Nintendo 64 library, and that's really saying something with the heavy hitters that can be found in there. I got that fantastic feeling you get after finishing a precious game. Kind of sad it's over, but happy to have been able to play it. It's time to fast travel to the next game on the list. Yeah, let's take a dragon ride out of here.